This is Beyond the Front Door podcast with Lindy and Rhea. We're opening the door to real stories from our community. Business owners, leaders, dreamers, and doers, sharing the journeys that shaped them. Our goal is simple: to support, spotlight, and celebrate the people around us. Come on in.
Welcome, everybody, to this snowy day. It's May 18th, and it's snowing. I mean, we need the moisture. I know, and I'm thanking God for that, but
It's a little rough on the mood.
it is a little, thank you.
That's how I feel. I feel like I'm like,
Welcome to Beyond the Front Door podcast with Lindy and Rhea. I'm just going to say it. I've been really looking forward to wearing summer clothes and enjoying the podcast, and I had to throw jeans on this morning. So yeah, you're right. It puts a damper.
I bought like new shorts, and I'm like, yay, summer! And it's
yeah,
like, okay,
not yet.
It'll be back tomorrow or the next day. Right.
Yeah. I am really glad for all the moisture that we're getting, and that it was raining and the whole thing. But yeah, it could just rain.
Vitamin D.
Yeah. Well, and then I did my hair this morning, and I look outside and I'm like, I step out in this and it's going to completely, go away. And I was right. So I grabbed my hat, and here I am in a hat because the snow ruined it. So anyway, there's my tirade for today. We would like to welcome Abby Lane with Bloom Therapy and Flourish Fitness and Recovery. Well, thank you so much for being on today.
Thank you for having me.
Yes, thank you for reaching out. We're always really glad when people reach out and say, hey, I have a project I'm working on that I would love to talk about. We wish more people would do that. So thank you for doing that. Yeah. Anyway.
Agree. And we've been seeing your stuff all over Facebook, so we're excited to hear.
Thank you.
So if you could start off and just tell us a little bit about yourself, like how long you've lived in Cheyenne, where you came from, what your career has been up to this point.
Yeah,
all that good stuff.
I grew up in Cheyenne,
Okay.
graduated from Central High School, and moved away for college and trying to be an adult, I think. And then,
as we all are.
Yeah. And then
really stinks.
Yeah. I came home in 2017 because I missed my family, and I decided it was more important to be with family than anything else. And I've just, stuck around ever since. I have 3 kiddos. Bridger's going to turn 8 in a couple weeks. Ori is 2, and then Rosie is 6 months.
Oh, those are adorable names.
Yes,
too.
they are.
I love them. I love old names. I have a Liam and a Lucy.
Oh, cute.
So yes, I love that.
Oh,
Yeah, Rosie is Rosemary.
Oh my God.
I love that. I wanted a Rosie so bad. And it was like, do we try for a 3rd kid? And I was like, we have to try for a girl. I just can't give up. I need my Rosie. Yeah. And my husband, Joel, he owns Freedom's Edge Brewing. You guys have had him on your show already.
Yes, we have.
And yeah, career-wise, when I first moved back to Cheyenne, I worked at DFS in child protection. So I worked with kids in foster care, child abuse and neglect investigations. Not a fun job.
No.
Thankful for the people that do it, but I did that for a few years and then decided to get my master's degree. So I went back to school, did my master's degree in clinical mental health counseling, and thought that I wanted to work with kids. That's also a very, very hard job. And as much as I love kids, it was taking a toll on me. So I made the switch to maternal mental health, mostly because I believe that the more we help moms, the more
the kids are going to benefit.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And a lot of the times when moms are bringing kids to therapy, it's because mom is struggling and they are like, oh, I'm at my wit's end. I don't know what to do. And at the time, we didn't have any perinatal mental health certified therapists in Wyoming. So I was the first therapist in Wyoming to get certified in perinatal, which is pregnancy and postpartum. So postpartum depression, anxiety, that kind of stuff. And in end of 2023, I opened Bloom, and it was just me in a really yucky little basement office. And then now there's 12 of us, I think this week we'll add number 12.
Congratulations.
Thank you. And it grew very rapidly because we had a need. Wyoming needed it.
Yeah, there's definitely a need.
Yeah. And we had all the support from our OBs needing to connect women and stuff like that. So that grew really quickly, and we had a lot of support there are several nonprofits in Wyoming that are focused on maternal health that helped fund our training so that we could get more and more therapists across Wyoming certified in perinatal mental health. So it's not just us anymore. And that's really nice to know that people can get help in their community.
That's awesome.
I'm on our maternal mortality committee. So we review deaths in Wyoming, which is not fun. But then we also get to decide like what kind of funding do we want to put towards certain things so that we can not let this happen again, or trainings or education or all sorts of things. And yeah, I guess that's kind of how Bloom came to be. And then Flourish stemmed from Bloom and what the clients
I mean,
were
there's a natural
saying.
progression
It
there.
bloomed
Yeah.
and then it flourished.
Yes, yeah. And our clients, it was like we would sit in our staff meetings and it would be like everybody saying they can't work out because they have babies at home. They can't make friends without going to a bar, but they don't want to go to a bar because that's not a healthy choice, or they
Right.
have babies at home, or those kinds of things. So it was like, well, what do we need to do to like put into this community that just focuses on health and wellness and like the social community supports? So
I
that's
think
kind of
whatever we can do to set social community supports in place that's outside of social media
yes.
is helpful. I mean, social media is great to connect you, right? To find your people, to find your tribe, whatever it is. But then you just can't replace meeting people out in the wild,
Yeah.
you know?
Mhm.
And
Needs to be.
it's extra hard in Wyoming because we're spread out, and then we
Mhm.
have the weather stuff. So it's like, well, I'm trapped in my house 9 months out of the year, and I
Mhm.
feel like I can't go do anything. And then that leads to depression. And it's just like this
Mhm.
vicious cycle that people get stuck in.
And especially if you have, newborn or small children, it makes it, because the task is even more daunting, because then you're loading kids up in car seats to go somewhere, and
Mhm.
you maybe can make it an hour or two, and then you got to get back home because somebody needs fed or needs a nap, or
Yeah.
it's been a lot of years for me, but I remember.
Yeah, my worst, like my bout with postpartum depression was when I had my November baby, and it was like, I can't go anywhere because I'm so scared he's going to get sick and he hasn't had his
Mhm.
vaccines yet, and there's
Mhm.
no sunshine, and
Mhm.
we were just stuck at home for like what's felt like years, not going anywhere.
Mhm.
And it was like, man, if I had just a little bit more support or
Support.
connections, like I probably wouldn't have struggled so much.
So I guess what I want to do is back up just a little bit, because this is an episode for women. Correct? What you're doing is you are supporting women,
Yes.
right? So I guess tell us a little bit about what kind of care does a woman need? Um, Maybe I'm not phrasing that correctly. Let's start with this. What are the signs of postpartum depression? Like after you have a
Yeah.
child, what are some things for women to be looking out for?
Yeah, we always talk about like lack of interest in doing things, loss of like hope for the future. If you ever notice a woman that's like not wanting to spend time with their baby, and it's funny when you think about that because people would never let you see that. Like they can put on a show and say like I love my baby, I want to hold my baby, and they do genuinely love their babies. Having postpartum depression doesn't mean you're a bad mom, doesn't mean that you don't love your baby, but you will see moms that maybe put the baby whatever on their play mat and just kind of walk the extra steps around the baby. Moms will feel really, really anxious about like, I don't want baby to go outside because they could get sick. I'm not sure about vaccinations, like, but higher intensity, if that makes sense.
Mhm.
So the signs are really, really subtle, and you're not really going to know unless you're with that person
Regularly.
regularly.
And notice
So
a shift.
yeah, and we spend a lot of time educating dads. Like that's the most important thing is like what can your partner do to notice it and get you help, because your mom or your friend isn't probably around enough to notice those
Sure.
things.
And I mean, I would venture, do you happen to know off the top of your head? So I apologize if I'm putting you on the spot. Like, what percentage of women experience postpartum depression?
Yeah, 1 in 5 nationally, and a little
Okay.
bit higher in Wyoming because of like the
Our
lack of
rural
vitamin
nature.
D and the isolation. Yep.
Yeah. So, and I feel like oftentimes by the time like the general public is hearing about it, it's because it has progressed to some extreme nature.
Yeah.
So getting it taken care of early on. And I think you're right. I think there's a stigma for women that if they don't feel in the
Handling it.
moment, if they're not handling it or they're not bonding or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead.
I was just saying, I think there's just like a stigma of you should just get it together and handle it. You're the
Yeah.
mom, like figure it out. It'll be fine. This will
Yeah.
pass. You're just
Yeah.
Yeah, and we've normalized that like exhausted mom. Like, oh, you're just
like
tired
it's
'cause you have
normal
a
to be exhausted. It's
newborn.
fine. You don't. Yeah, you're.
Mhm.
You'll be fine. It'll pass.
Yeah, but there's a point where it's not normal and it's not fine. And we've like moved away from the it takes a village mentality.
We have.
There is like, I can't think of the name of the book, but there's a book that describes like how motherhood has changed over the years. And I always tell moms, like, I want you to think about it like in the 40s and 50s, grandma moved in when you had a baby. So why do you think that you should be working full time and doing all of this by yourself or with only your partner for help? That's not realistic.
Well, and just everything that your body, like the whole first year after you have a baby, your body is going through. I mean, your body went through some huge changes in the year leading up to your baby being born. And I'm certain it must take at least a year, if not two, after you give birth for your body to go back to normal.
Yeah, they
correct?
used to say 2 years, and some of the latest research is leaning towards like 6 years before your hormones really balance out.
Oh my gosh.
So I was joking with my hairstylist the other day. She's like, well, I lost all this weight because I'm 10 years postpartum. And I was like, that counts. I think that's fair. Yeah.
Sometimes it takes some people longer. It's
Yeah.
fine.
I used to joke my youngest one, I have had two babies, and my first one, the weight bounced back really easily. But my second one, boy, I joke even recently, like I'm still
working on that baby weight.
Yeah.
he's 26, so maybe don't count. But anyway, yeah, there is, I mean, all the hormones, and I just don't think it gets talked about enough that it's not like you just give birth and then you go home. Like you're still in a lot of pain, from breastfeeding to your muscles still contracting to, whatever hormone dumps occurred while you were pregnant and giving birth. And then, yeah, it's a lot. And then you're right. The whole exhausted mom thing is a little overdone, but there is an element of, you maybe aren't sleeping so much if that baby is up every 2 hours. And it takes its toll.
And that's another big sign of postpartum depression is like your inability to sleep when baby sleeps. So that insomnia takes a toll on you. So a lot of the times moms will be like, well, I'm just tired because it's a newborn. And it's like, okay, but when the newborn is in safe hands, like if grandma's there taking care of baby, can you relax enough to go to sleep? And if the answer is no, panic. That's when you're calling your OB.
Red flag.
Yep.
Okay, so if a woman is at a point where she or her husband or her partner in life notices that this maybe is going beyond regular care, what's the next step?
A lot of women choose to go to their OB because they have the relationship. Then their OB will refer to us. So that's always an option. But you don't need a referral to come to us.
They can contact you directly.
Yeah. And you can even self-schedule on our website. So if you're like, I don't want to talk to anyone, or sometimes we have spouses that'll say, I'm not going to give you the option. I'm going to book you an appointment for you. And that's an option on our website. You can book for somebody else. They don't have to come, but you can do that.
That's very nice. So is Bloom Therapy all about maternal health, or is it other as well?
We do see other patients, but that's our focus.
That's your focus.
Yep.
Okay.
So it's probably like over 90% of our clients come from our OBs for postpartum depression or something related to a pregnancy. Sometimes somebody lost a baby or had a very traumatic birth or is struggling with infertility, something like that. But then we do have Christine specializes in ADHD. So she sees a lot of adult women who were maybe diagnosed with ADHD later in life. We have Taylor who specializes in trauma. So she sees a lot of domestic violence victims. But it's kind of things still related to
and
womanhood.
Primarily women.
Yes.
That's really awesome. I don't know if I've ever even heard of a therapy office that is targeted specifically for women.
Yeah. And it's interesting because there are issues that women deal with that men don't. And
Right.
vice versa. There's issues that men deal with that women don't. And we
Right.
have really good relationships with some therapists that specialize in
men's care.
Yeah.
And you refer to them if needed.
Yep.
Yeah.
One of my good friends, Preston, we always say like he does what I do, but for men. So he's all about seeing seeing new dads, and 1 in 10 men have postpartum depression. So
Sure, because I think it can be hard for men to know where they fit in the whole scheme of things.
exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And when I was having kids, like, well, first of all, I don't even think that like maternity leave, or the family, what's that called? Family leave, the Family Leave Act or whatever. I don't know that was quite in place when I was having kids. I mean, everybody back then, the term was always just maternity leave, and the standard was like 6 weeks or something like that, but not paid, usually, and it was never even a consideration or a thought that the husband or the partner would also get paid leave when their baby is born, which I'm so glad it happens now. But when I was having kids, that really wasn't a thing.
And I can't even imagine not having my husband around. And I, after my second baby, I was struggling so bad that I just told him one day, like, you can't go back to work. Sorry, but like, I need you here. I can't do it. And he took an extra week off, and we have plenty of help. My parents live like 3 blocks away. But even then, it was just like, I can't imagine you going back to work and me being home with both kids. So
things have really come a long way. I was on Instagram over the weekend, and there was a reel where they were discussing like women nowadays, it's such a thing for your husband or your partner to be in the room with you and to, be present when your baby is born. And my husband was present when my babies were born, but I mean, there was a time when husbands weren't allowed in the delivery room. So we've come a long way, right? From men not even being allowed in the delivery room all the way to now not only being, I think what the issue with the reel is about him sleeping there with her when she gave birth to her baby. So when I had kids, the husbands didn't stay in the room. Did yours stay overnight with yours? Yeah. Did yours, Lindy?
Yeah.
He stayed in the room with you?
Yeah.
Yeah, sleep on a couch. My husband's 6'4". He didn't enjoy it, but
you better not complain
I was
about
gonna say,
it.
He definitely knew better than to complain.
Yeah.
I mean,
you're uncomfortable. Weird. I didn't. Just
I feel bad for you.
Yeah.
But I mean, I'm certain. Like I don't know that the hospital would have like told him no, but it just wasn't the thing.
Wasn't a thing
They weren't. They just weren't. Now I'm going to tell you. By the time my youngest one was born, I had a stepson and then my middle son, and I was like, yeah, go home.
I think it changes when you have older kids. Sometimes they do have to go home and take care of the other kids. So that changes it a little bit. But if you don't have family to take them.
That's right. That's right.
But I think it is nice when you do have family to take the other kids and you can just do that with your husband and they can stay the whole time. And
yeah, we joked when we were in the hospital with our third, like, this is a vacation compared to being home with our toddler. It was nice.
That's what I was. My husband come in the room with our two older.
Extra day to just kind of you just monitor the baby and just take a nap.
With my third one, I was like happy to lay in bed with my baby, and I distinctly remember my husband like busting through the door with my other 2 kids, and I'm like, oh great, you guys are here to visit. How long?
Yeah.
I'm gonna go back to watching TV and cuddling on the bed with my baby. But yeah, at times of all the way from men not even being allowed in the room to now they sleep in the room and they can take family leave. So those are some times have certainly changed.
Yeah.
But like you're saying, it's went the opposite way in terms of maybe familiar support for women.
Yeah. When like our moms are still working, like baby's grandma is still working. She can't just
come
stop
help.
And exactly, you know what I mean. So there's still a long ways to go, and it's been just different shifts kind of, and us having to adapt and figure it out. And then there's like the cost of childcare and all of those things. It just gets so out of hand. It's always new challenges.
Yes. Well, I love everything that is targeted at women and helping support women because, we are charged with bringing life into the world, and there is a host of things that come with that we need support for.
Yeah, and that we don't talk about nearly enough.
No, we definitely don't. Okay, so a woman can contact you guys and get started on therapy, but then you take it the next step with the Flourish Fitness and Health. So then what happens? How do you identify that maybe a woman wants to participate in those services? Do they go through the therapy first, or can they just go straight to your Flourish Fitness? They don't need the therapy?
They're 2 separate things. Okay. So anybody can come to Flourish. You don't have to be involved with one or the other.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
So Flourish will open in the middle of June.
Okay.
And we have so many things. But
so many things. I'm really excited to hear.
I'm like, I don't even know that I could list them all. I should have brought a list, but we have yoga, Pilates, strength classes, HIIT, spin, sculpt, which if you don't know is kind of similar to Pilates, but adding in more weights and like intensity. I'm trying to think what else. I know I'm missing something, but we'll have prenatal postpartum yoga with Teresa Hansen. She did a prenatal postpartum certification, not just for Flourish, but she has taught at Bloom for us for a little while. And then we have a child watch and our recovery suite, which is sauna and cold plunge, and then a full gym. And then we're hoping to have a lot more like social activities, at least once a month, some type of social gathering, just to let moms make friends, or not just moms, but women in general of all ages. And yeah, I think that's it. I'm sure I missed
How
some
about, is there
things.
like nutrition?
We're gonna have
support?
some different people come in and do like classes or like seminars and make it like an event so it's fun.
Sure.
But we have some dietitians lined up. We have some hormone specialists.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
I'm sorry I keep bringing this back to, there's like a then and now. Did you have like a support when your kids were little, like any like place that you went to socialize or?
Well, I did CrossFit then, but it really, it's not really a place you want to have like kids because
Right.
it's loud and it's, so I took my kids there for a little bit, but then there's an age there where they don't really do that well.
Sure.
Yeah, like
You
my
know?
2-year-old would
Yeah, they
cause
wanted
some
to
trouble.
scream, and so you're like, nobody really wants to listen to them scream. So no, there wasn't really places here in Cheyenne where you could take your kids and have childcare while you worked out.
Or what about just to socialize in general?
No, I just
Like,
took them with me.
yeah.
And I think moms just need a break. And whether you're
Yes,
working
I
out or
agree.
not,
Yeah.
and I've pushed that with Flourish, you don't have to work out. Like we have a lobby if you want to come use our child watch, but work on your laptop for that hour instead, go for it. Like that doesn't impact me at all. You
This
are
is
welcome
so
to do
huge.
that.
I
But a
love
lot
it.
of moms, like we don't have I don't know if we have any anymore, like drop-in childcare. And so if you're not
No, and see, that's
committing-
what I did. So then when my son got, particularly my son, when he got a little too rowdy to be taking and staying in a room and not causing a scene, I had to
Boys.
take him to drop in. So yeah, then you're like, we had a drop in daycare for a while, but that didn't last very long. For whatever reason here. And so then, then you don't have that option. So
Yeah.
When my kids were little, it was MOPS,
yeah.
Mothers of
I think
Preschoolers.
they
And I
still
think there
have
still
that.
is.
Yeah.
At my church, I know there's still MOPS.
Yeah.
But that was like the social, you let your kids run and play, and
everyone
all
met
the
somewhere
moms
and
would.
chatted. And yeah.
Well, it was, and this was in Gillette, so it was in a church, and I enjoyed it to an extent. I think that
But you're also like, you never get a break. So then
That's
you're
right.
going there and it's fine. But like, then there's just a bunch of kids and noise and
Yeah.
you're
trying
trying
to hold
talk to someone and you're
conversations.
trying to
take care of your kids.
take care of your
Yeah.
kids and correct that, make sure they're
I like the
behaving.
movement and activity portion of this, that you can leave your kids, and that you're offering such a great variety of ways to move your body, and to just, sometimes that's just what you need to get out and
And I
walk.
like that you have someone watching the kids, because I'm trying to think back, like the YMCA for a while had like childcare that you could go there and you could leave them. But I do think that's also important to be like, you don't have to worry about them. You know what I mean? Like they're not just like, you have to also keep an eye on them while you're trying to do this. You're like, someone is watching them, so go do your thing.
Yeah, I've had times where I've been like, okay, I'm going to go to this class, and they've said it's okay for my kiddo to sit in the lobby, but then I spend the whole class like
Worrying
peeking
that
over,
and worrying
I'm
that
not
they're
getting
making
that
a
break.
noise, or they're not supposed to be doing what they're doing, or sit still.
Yeah.
Don't touch anything.
Yeah. And then I just feel panicked, and it's like, no, I just
Yeah.
really needed that break, and this felt like so much harder.
Yeah.
And even like, it's asking a lot for moms to load up 3 kids and bring them to the child watch. So to put like one more thing on them, to me, is unacceptable. Like,
Yeah, it is a lot. I got to tell you, it just warms my heart whenever I go to the gym, because my gym has childcare, and there's dads walking in with car seats and babies. I love that.
Yeah.
Whenever I see it, I'm always like, way to go. You wonder what mom's doing if she's like getting her hour in at home, like, a break or whatever the case is. And this isn't a jab at men. There's a lot of really great, dads and men out there, but you just don't see it as often.
Yeah.
You just don't see, men walking into the gym with a car seat. And so whenever I do see it, it's fun to see. So anyway, just as a quick side note. Okay. So if women want to get involved with your therapy services, how can they find you?
Our website is bloomtherapywy.com, and that's the easiest way. And you can just self-schedule. We offer a free 15-minute consultation. So you can meet a therapist and just be like, I just want to know if I like you, like if I like your vibe, if we're a good fit, and there's no pressure. And and the therapist might tell you like, I'm not a good fit for you, but this other therapist is, or I like you, but I can't do the type of therapy that I would recommend for you. So let's set you up with somebody else.
Sure.
Or you can be like, I don't know, this doesn't feel comfortable for me. I'd like to try a 15-minute consultation with somebody else.
That's wonderful.
Or I want to take some time to think about it, whatever. Or you can just pick a therapist and jump right in.
Right.
Yeah.
Do you accept insurance? There's this cash only, or?
We do accept insurance, and
Okay.
most insurances cover the whole cost, or most people have a very small copay.
Okay.
We're very flexible with payment plans. So if you are uninsured or have a really high deductible or something, just call and ask us. We can always check your benefits and see what your cost would be and then work that out on a payment plan.
That's really sweet. I love it.
Yeah, I definitely think Cheyenne's been asking for some kind of fitness place for women that that has childcare for a long time. And I know there's been some gyms that were only women, and it's been like years since there's been one.
Yeah.
And I think that a lot of people have been wanting that.
Yeah. When I was young in Cheyenne, we had Sedona.
Yes, that's
And
the one
I
I'm
don't know
thinking
when
of.
they closed, but my mom and I had a membership there, and so did my best friend and her mom. So we would all go work out together, and I loved it.
Yeah.
And it was beautiful. And it must have closed while I moved away or something. I don't know what happened to that. But when I put out a poll on Facebook in one of those whatever groups and said, would people be interested in this? And in like 20 minutes, we had 100 people saying yes and bringing up that like they missed Sedona. They were sad that it closed, those kinds of things. So I was like, maybe we'll just move forward with this and see what happens. And so far we've had a lot of support. So
Yeah, I think
that's
there's a
been
lot of
really
women
nice.
who don't really feel comfortable in the gym at all. And then really not with men.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
I, at one point after my second was born, hired a personal trainer as like, I'm never going to be a bodybuilder or anything crazy. I just need somebody to teach me how to lift safely and be confident walking into this space that I'm unfamiliar with. And that was like life changing for me. So I'm a big fan of like, can we just nudge women to just come try? You don't have to be
Yes.
perfect at it. There's a teacher here to guide you, and let's just get you comfortable being here.
What I want to know is how many people are you going to have, like men, super jealous that you've got like a cold plunge?
I know.
All of these things that they're like, wait a second, what about us? Like,
Yeah, one of our instructors, they have one at home, and her husband's like, but yours is nicer. This isn't fair.
and I don't have to take care of it.
Yeah.
Do all the things to make
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. But they can start one. I'll help
I
them.
mean, I say cold plunge sounds terrible, but
I know,
that's just me. I don't
Yeah.
like being cold.
I haven't tried it yet,
But I
I'm
love a
dedicated.
sauna. I have a sauna in my house, and I do recommend. I do think that the sauna has a lot of benefits. And
Yeah, it's shocking the benefits that a sauna has, because it's a lot of people think about it as like, oh, it helps you burn fat. And it does, but it also gets all those toxins out of your body, and it can actually reduce your chances of dementia. And so
Nice.
if you need a reason to sit in a sauna, it's so that your kids don't have to take care of you at a young age. That's
a good reason.
yes.
yeah, that is. I love that.
Yeah. I have not tried a cold plunge, but I experimented with taking a cold bath
Yeah.
just to sort of work my way up. And so it wasn't even like cold. It was like, and not lukewarm either, just somewhere cool. And I will tell you, what's interesting is how much that gets your heart rate up.
Yeah.
You know, it's actually kind of intense, or it was for me when I got in there, and it was, again, not ice cold, but it was chilly. And I was thinking, wow, this is just chilly water, and my heart rate is like warning me.
Yeah.
This is cold.
And the amount of time you need in a cold plunge is really minimal. It's like 6 minutes across a week. So you could do just 1 minute at a time.
Oh,
You don't
okay.
have to do it
Do
very
it all at
long
once.
and
Yeah.
torture yourself. And same with
Yeah.
the sauna. I think you start seeing health benefits at like 20 minutes per week. And so it can be like 5 or 10 minutes
Okay.
at a time. It
time,
doesn't
yeah.
have to be a 45-minute session in the sauna.
And what's the trend to go from the cold plunge to the sauna, or
Vice
vice
versa.
versa?
Yeah.
Sauna for so
Like
you're
when
nice
you
and
were
hot.
a kid and you used to sit in the hot tub and then go jump in the snow.
Snow?
It's like
Yes.
that.
I did it just this last time it snowed. We sat in our hot tub, and then all the kids wanted to jump on the trampoline, and I did it, and it was literally did not feel good.
No.
I was like, we used to do this all the time. It hurts.
It
Yeah.
hurts.
But yes, that's exactly what
As
you
we
do.
get older, things hurt. So,
Yeah.
so where will your gym be located?
Both of my businesses are off of East Carlson in the Indian Hills Shopping Center. So
Oh,
Bloom and Flourish
okay.
are kind of catty corner from each other in that parking lot.
Nice.
So over there, there's Element Church, and then we're in the shopping center across the street where Spectrum is. I'm trying to
Yeah, Spectrum and Laramie County Chiropractic.
And our beautician.
And our beauticians
are there.
Yep. Yep.
You guys go to K&Co?
We go
Yes.
to K&Co, yeah.
Yeah.
There's a couple hairstylists
And Teton
in that area.
physical therapies over there. Yeah, where you get your blood drawn.
Yeah, the Wyoming Health Fair. Yeah, we have a
Yeah,
nice
that's a great
little
place.
shopping center. Yeah, the ladies
I
at
think there's a
Teton
nail
are...
place over there now. and-
Yep, Nail Central. There's a dog groomer. The ladies at Teton want us to plan like a health-focused summer bash with them, so I'm really excited about that.
Nice.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well,
Well,
that's
I love
this,
all the things for women.
Me too.
Yeah, and I'm a big fan of having fitness dedicated to women because a lot of us don't understand or haven't learned about yet what type of exercise is good for our bodies at certain ages or stages or even like times in your cycle.
Yeah.
So I'm a big fan of like, even if you're really into CrossFit, stick with it because it's good for you, but maybe pop in for a yoga class
exactly.
or you know what I mean, something different. Or if you had an injury, God forbid, that you can dial it back and do something a little simpler or those kinds of things.
Well, and I talk about this with my trainer all the time, and I just want to say it out there to all the women that are listening is that in a 30-day month, how many actual good, hard workout days do we have?
Yeah.
Because, you know, when you've got the 7 to 10 days, your luteal phase, you know, before you have your period. And then for me, even a few days after. So when you take into account all the 4 phases of your menstrual cycle, and then you really kind of drill down, what are your best days where you feel your best and you are, adding weight, the progressive overload, whatever, is minimal. We have to remember that when we go to the gym, some days, not all days are hundreds. As a matter of fact, most are not.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're, if you just get yourself there and go through the motion of the movement, you're better than if you didn't. Yes. And just understand that if, like for me, if Lindy, you put in 5 days a week, don't you? I do 3 to 4 days a week. So let's just say the minimum of 3 of 12 days a month. Maybe 4 of those days are good, hard, hard days.
I agree. Even me, I go a lot, but I don't feel like 100% most days.
Yeah. And it's important to be surrounded by people that have that attitude, that it's okay that today wasn't your best day and you're not going to be punished for it.
Well, and even my trainer, I'll warn her and I'm like, hey, I'm in my luteal phase this week. So I'm going to give it my all, but just know. And, and sometimes I think she can tell when I walk in, like, oh, we're going lighter today because I do not have the bandwidth or the capacity for it, but I'm still there and I'm still doing it.
Yeah. And that's part of where the plan for Flourish came from is I think women really should be tracking their cycle.
Yes.
And picking the workout that lines up with what's best for them.
I completely agree.
And listening to your body and
Yep. And knowing that if I don't feel up to a high intensity spin class today, but there's Pilates 30 minutes later and I could handle that today.
And also just how important it is for just your mental health. Like you said, just do anything. Just do something for yourself, even if it's whatever workout it is, even if it's walk on a walk, you know what I mean? Just be I need a minute for me.
Yes, I know everybody at Bloom is sick of hearing me talking about my walks, but I'm adamant that if I hadn't started walking,
I don't
would
even walk
not
as
be
much
normal.
as I should. I tell everyone, I'm and I'm not just talking about walking around during the day. You need to go on a separate walk.
Yeah, and have something like a podcast that's not work related or
something you enjoy, even if it's silence, that's fine too. Sometimes we just get overstimulated by everything and just need a minute.
Yep. I'm a huge fan of walking. I completely agree.
And then you see the people walking, the older people, and I'm that is how they keep moving.
Yeah.
And they're not doing anything hard. They're just walking. And whatever pace they want, as long as they're walking, just keep going. I have so many older people in my neighborhood walking around, and I'm that is why they're still going.
Yeah, I had a lot of people when we first announced Flourish ask if there was going to be senior classes. And I was like, that hadn't really crossed my mind because I think all of these classes are for everybody. But so many people ask that we have senior classes on our schedule. And the instructor for that is so excited. And some of our first people to buy memberships were
I
our
was going to say,
seniors.
you know why? I think it's because when you get older, you go to the gym and you're working out with these people who are 20. I mean, even me, I'm not old and I just turned 44, but you're
Yeah.
working out with 20-year-olds. And sometimes you have to remind yourself, like, I'm not 20 years old. I can't keep up with that person. So it's
Yeah.
nice if you're like in a class with people your age. And I think that even when you get older, I'm sure 60s and you're like, I'm not going to work out with 30-year-olds, 20-year-olds. Like, I don't feel comfortable.
Yeah. And the time of day that they want to work out is
Yeah,
different.
yeah.
And
Well, they say I think we have said this on the podcast before, Lindy, we'd rather be the oldest one in the gym than the youngest one in the nursing home,
Yeah.
right?
Yep.
Like we have got to get there. And they're starting to the science is starting to bear out on longevity of life and your leg muscles and maintaining
Your
your
strength
leg
and your
muscles and your
muscle, yeah.
strength.
yeah.
So to, again, help with dementia.
Yeah.
Which is something I think we're all worried about. And then longevity of life. So I tell any woman if she's kind of in a season of her life where she's maybe not feeling super confident, has some insecurities maybe about whatever it is that's going on in her life, boy, go pick up a weight. It is
Yeah.
so empowering to go to the gym and lift weights. And even if you start off with what you can, but at the end of the day, you walk out of there and you're like,
Yeah.
I am strong.
And I think the coolest thing we can do for younger women is like convince them that this is cool. This is the cool, trendy thing. Like we don't need to be at bars drinking or I don't know what else, what other unhealthy habits we have to hang out with our friends. Like we don't have to hang out over a meal and eat a bunch of junk food.
Yes.
We can go for a walk. We can go to the gym together. Let's go take a Pilates class and make it.
Yeah.
This is the new cool, trendy social thing.
Yes, I love that. I completely agree.
Also, just because I do this every day and hang out with all my friends, I always am like, how do other people in the world not see their friends every day? We go to the gym and see each other. So we're both we're doing something that's benefiting us, but then it's also our social time.
Yeah.
And otherwise I'm like, do you not see your friends? Like what, once a month or when you plan to get together? I think it helps your
Having
mental
it
health
part
a
of your
lot.
routine.
Yes. Takes away that isolation.
Yeah.
And you're
I mean, I'll go a few
exercising.
days without seeing my friend Kristen and I'll be like, I gotta go to the gym.
Yeah.
If one of us is out of town or something, you're just like, oh, something's not right. Oh yeah, that's it. I didn't get my.
And these two do the funnest
We
challenges.
like to do fun workouts, and
Fun workout
fun
challenges. Yeah, they're just a
Some are
hoot to watch.
ridiculous. Some hurt.
Yeah.
People send me things and they're like, do this. And I'm like, I think it's so great that you think I can do that. But I might die. if I do that. Might break my neck.
Yeah.
I'll try it. Okay.
Yeah. The female camaraderie or the
Yeah.
women time with your women friends is important. So
And like you said, that's how it was. It was, you have to get together. We have to plan something. Where are we going to go? We're going to go have drinks somewhere. We're going to go to something. Those are all fine things also, but that you can't do that every day.
Exactly.
So then you got to be like, let's find something that we like to do that's healthy, even if it's going and meeting and walking in the park or anything like that. I think it's important.
And psychologists have studied women's mental health and how much it thrives when we have just conversations like this, just girl talk. And men don't need that at the level that women do. And we don't get what we need from our conversations with our husbands or our brothers the way that we do from each other.
yeah, I agree. And I also do like what you're pointing out about making movement part of your social planning, because we've even had this conversation in our family that let's take Thanksgiving, for example. What's the big routine that's been going on for decades? It's to, everybody gets together over at grandma's house or mom and dad's house or whatever the case is, and you eat a big meal and you watch football and you fall asleep, and that's what happens. Now, I do think there's some movement towards like 5Ks that occur.
The families that are like, let's go run a 5K.
Let's go run a 5K on a Thanksgiving morning. I would far rather plan like a hike or to go do something outdoors on Thanksgiving. I mean, I may still want to catch a football game, let's get up in the morning and go do this. And, but we don't need to overdo it on the meal, and we don't need to make 5 different desserts and 2 different meats and 3.
And just sitting around, we're like,
Yeah, we can change the routine.
Yeah.
We can change the tradition. And
Yeah.
so I really love that because and what you're doing, Lindy, with meeting up with your friends to work out, I would love to have more of that. Like my trainer's become a good friend of mine.
Well, I was going to say, you at
Yeah.
least get to go,
Yeah.
go talk to her
Yeah.
and
Yeah. That poor girl. I think trainers might be counselors too. I'm not sure.
yeah,
but-
probably they have to help.
Kind of like your hairstylist is also your therapist.
Yes.
I completely agree. So
Yeah.
anyway, awesome. Okay, so in wrapping up, Lindy and I each have a question we like to ask our guests. And so my question for you is, what do you think is an important leadership trait for somebody to have, or what's a leadership trait you aspire to maintain or have?
Oh, that's a hard one. I am just really passionate about I want my employees to feel like they're supported and treated well and that their job is part of their life and not their entire life. So prioritizing yourself and leading by example. And
That's a
that
great-
we all need to be taking days off. If you have something going on at home, that comes before work, that kind of stuff.
I love that. That's a great answer.
Yep, me too. My question is a little bit real estate related since we're real estate agents. In this stage in your life, what does home mean to you?
Oh, I think just being close to family. We're very lucky. We live a few blocks away from my parents. My brother lives across the street from them. So home to me is where are all of our kids meeting up to play.
That's awesome.
I love that too. Same for my family. I love
Yeah,
that
you
people
guys
are
are.
trying to live closer to family, even living with their family now. Because, I think that really helps make
Yeah.
life easier
Yeah.
when you have all the support.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's amazing. I did an open house this weekend, and the home had essentially its own home downstairs. So there was a home upstairs and
Someone could live downstairs.
Yeah. And the couple families that came through, the real conversation around their kids becoming adults, but then even some of their kids that are married and having kids and want to move back home to pay for bills or whatever the case is. So multi-generational living is the economy is kind of forcing the issue just a little bit. Yeah. But then also the conversation around, okay, our adult kids are out on their own. Finally, now we're moving in mom and dad.
Yeah.
So kind of that in between, wanting to have the space for everybody to have their own space, because we do have multi-generational living. It's just a matter of if it's your kids or if it's your parents.
Yeah.
So
Wouldn't that be so nice to have built-in babysitters or take turns cooking dinner and just take something off your plate?
yes, I think as long as everybody knows how to live together,
Yes.
that could work.
Yeah.
It maybe isn't the case for everybody, but yeah. Awesome. Well, thank you so much for reaching out and for coming on. We're so excited about what you're doing.
Thank you.
Of course. And we'll be sure
Yes,
to
thank you.
recommend you whenever we see
We'll
a
come
need.
visit and
Yeah.
take a yoga
Yeah.
class
Yeah. Or a
something.
Pilates. Yeah.
Mhm.
Anyway, and so thank you everybody for tuning in today. And as you know, Lindy and I are realtors here at Peak Properties. So if you're looking to buy or sell, we'd love to help you with that. You can find us at sellcheyenne.com and Beyond the Front Door podcast on YouTube, as well as all of your favorite podcast platforms. And we hope you have a really great day.
Thank you.
Thank you. That was awesome.